Hello, I'm Julie from Tarot by Crystalmagik, and today we're doing a no contact reading for the zodiac sign of Leo. So first up, I pulled some cards for the energy surrounding your person that you're in no contact with at the moment. And what we came up with first, oops, these cards are flying out here. What we came up with first, we had Temperance, the King of Wands, and the Nine of Wands have come out as the energy surrounding your person at the moment. Show you these cards here. So basically, with Temperance, this is showing that your person has actually found some kind of balance in their life. They've got some kind of self-control back, which is obviously what they were lacking in the relationship before. And the King of Wands, they're feeling very, very passionate about you right now. And with the Nine of Wands as well, they really want to come in. They're just getting up the strength. They've got some self-awareness now. They realise what's happened. They used to be really suspicious of you. Unnecessarily, that kind of energy was what was happening in the past. But they've got a grip on that now. They've got awareness on that now with this Nine of Wands. They're actually aware of what it was that they were doing that sabotaged the relationship between you. Okay, and the cards that just came out, we've got the King of Swords. So they've really got a control over their emotions now. They've got a control over their mind. They've got a lot more self-control now than what they did have before. And the Magician, which is showing that they've really dug in deep to themselves, and they've realized that they did have all the tools. They've been using their intuition, they've been manifesting, and they've been trying to manifest you back into their life full on, is the energy I get here. Now, what else do we have? What else is going on here? Now we have Judgment and the Ace of Cups. So Judgment is like they've judged themselves very, very harshly. That's two major arcana cards here, three actually, with Temperance as well. They've judged themselves very, very hard on how they used to be in the relationship, and they want a fresh new beginning with you with this Ace of Cups. They want to come in and start again. That's how their energy is right now. Okay, so now what is the intentions, please, Spirit? What's the intentions of this no contact for the collective of Leo, please? Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands. So look, they look at you as their queen. They're very, very passionate about you. They think that you're a very passionate person. They find you very attractive, and in a sexual manner as well. They're very passionate. They find that you're a very confident person and very motivated, very passionate, and that's what they loved about you. Okay, but that probably actually scares them a bit as well, because sometimes when someone has, those qualities, it can be quite scary for some people who might be a bit more introverted. Okay, then we have the Empress out. So this is how they see you. You are their Empress. You are their Empress, their Queen of Wands. These are both very passionate cards. They think that you're a beautiful, passionate, loving person. And right now, this is how they've been feeling. They've been feeling like all of their cups are empty. They're realizing that when they were with you, this wasn't the situation. When they were with you, you did fill up their cup, but they sabotaged it with their self-sabotage because they weren't happy within. So right now, this is the energy they're in. They're in that Five of Cups energy where they're just really feeling like heartbreak, regret, loss, sorrow. They're really regretting this ending that happened between you. And justice. So things have come into balance now. Justice has been served. Whatever it was that happened between you, there has been a balance here. So they have realised that the way that they were acting was not acceptable, and that's not the way that to conduct a relationship with an Empress, with a Queen of Wands. That's not how to go. And so they've realised that. It's like they feel like they've had some kind of karmic debt thrown onto them for it. Like they've obviously been, really feeling left out in the cold, miserable, and as I said, that in a lot of regret, a lot of sorrow, and the world. So they've come full circle here. They've come full circle, and they've realised that you were their world, and so this is like the end of the major arcana. They want to start up a whole new chapter. When you have the world, it's one chapter closing and a whole new cycle starting again. So they want to start their new cycle with you. Okay, so what are their actual intentions towards the collective, please, Spirit? What are their intentions? What are they intending to do about this? Okay, the Tower. They've had this Tower moment. Their whole world has come crashing down. So they've kind of like been forced into this situation where they've had to think about what it is that they want to do moving forward. So the Tower is basically saying that the way that things were built before were on unstable grounds, and so they need to be rebuilt on fresh ground. So when they come back in, their intentions are that they want to start all over again. They want to start from the beginning with stable grounds, do things properly, and come back in for you in a whole new way. Like their whole world has come crashing down basically from this breakup. I think they just didn't realise what they actually had, Leo, at the time, which is, you know, often happens. You know, you hear people saying it a lot. You don't realise what you had until you lose it. And now that seems to be the energy we're getting here with this no contact for you here, Leo. They didn't realise what they had until they lost it. And now they want you back. So now I think we're just going to work out now. We'll see what Spirit has to say. Spirit, how do they plan on coming back in? What are their intentions on coming back in, please, to the collective? What do they intend to do to come back in here? What messages do you have here for the collective on how this energy is going to come back in for them? Okay, so the King of Pentacles is here. So to me, this is saying that the way they're going to try and come back in is with some kind of like a much more mature outlook on things. They're going to want to come across as your king. They're going to probably come in with some, you know, stability, financial offers. You know, they're going to want to show you what they've been doing. They're going to want to show you that they are a stable person, that they are someone that's supportive, that there's someone that you can rely on, and that's how they're going to want. That's the energy they're going to come back in with. The Three of Swords, look, they've been so heartbroken, and they are really heartbroken at the moment over this. They have not been able to get over you. They're feeling the loss. They're feeling it hard. Yeah, really feeling it hard, Leo. So they've been suffering. It also can speak of infidelities. So, you know, there could have been some kind of a infidelity, a third party reason for why you broke up in the first place. And that could be on either part, whether it was from you or from the person. But that's the reason, one of the reasons why there could have been this breakup in the first place. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like the Wheel of Fortune is saying that they feel like you are their destiny, you're their fate. And the wheels turned now with this world as well. See both the circles. Circular is like a completion. It's like a full circle, a full cycle. But with the Wheel of Fortune as well, it's like the wheel has turned into what is actually like destined for you. So they feel like you are their destiny, you are their fated person. They feel like you're the person that they're supposed to be with. Okay, so we need to know now, Spirit, what are their intentions on coming back in? Right, so we have the Page of Cups. So they're going to come in with an offer. You're going to receive a message soon. I say soon, this could be any time from now to the next few weeks, basically. You're going to have some kind of message coming in from them. Now, they're going to feel a little bit with the Page. They're quite it's very much the Court cards. It's like the beginning of the Court cards. You know, you've got the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. So it's like this is their thought. This is what they want to do. So this is like the thought first. When you move on to the Knight, that's when they actually come in with the full intention. So at the moment, I feel like they're just thinking about how they're going to do it. They're thinking about what offer they're going to give to you, how they're going to come back in, and they're feeling a little bit scared probably about it, and not quite sure how to do it, how to come in without being told to bugger off, basically. Okay, how else are we going to see this? How else are we going to see these intentions? What they're planning on doing? How do they plan on coming into the collective here? Okay, the Hermit. So they've done a lot of soul searching and a lot of time on their own, and so they're probably thinking that maybe you've been doing the same. They might feel a little bit withdrawn, or that you're going to be withdrawn from them. So that might be what's been holding them back from coming in. They're just not sure if you're going to accept them back. I was feeling that energy a lot, that they're just really concerned that they're going to come in and you're just going to tell them that you're not interested, you know, and that's what their energy is at the moment. Two of Swords, like they're at a crossroads. You know, they really aren't sure. They're really not sure at the moment which way to go. They're not sure how to come across to you, which way to come in. They just aren't sure. Yeah, they just don't know which way to turn. You know, they could go this road or that road. Which one? They feel like they're blindfolded, as you can see in the image. They're just in a really unsure time. They don't know which way to go about it. So that's why you probably haven't heard from them for some time, collective. That's probably why I say you are still in no contact. I don't think you've heard from them yet. Okay. So when the no contact, when this person comes back in, how should the collective react to this? Is there any advice for the collective here of how they should react to this? Right. So we've got the Knight of Wands. So this is like a very passionate card. This is like you, basically. When they do come back in, you're gonna be very happy about this, and you're gonna want to rush into it. Okay, but I feel like Spirit's saying to you that you shouldn't rush too much in, like, because you probably had a lot of chemistry, and when you rush straight back in, you're going to be avoiding the whole point of the Tower moment, which we had back down here, that things have to be built on a different ground. But because there's so much passion in your relationship, you know, you're going to be excited, you're going to want to rush back into it. You know, you're going to feel really like it's going to be like a whole new, you're going to feel like you're being seduced, and it's going to be a whole new adventure. But I feel like Spirit's saying to you, remember that you do need to build on new foundations this time, because what happened last time didn't work. So the way that you go about the relationship this time around, if that's how you choose that you're going to continue a relationship, or, you know, reignite a relationship, then you need to just be very, very careful. The Knight of Wands can be quite impatient, and you're going to, you know, you've been probably waiting for this moment, but, you know, I feel like Spirit's trying to say to you, chill, just chill, because you don't want to rush in. And even if it's them coming rushing in, they might want to be rushing in like all passionate and seductive, and, you know, either way, with either one of you, you just have to be really mindful of the fact that the reason that things didn't work out before was because things weren't built on a stable ground. And then we have the Death card here, which is like, it's like not someone dying, it's like a new beginning. So it's like really reinforcing the Tower again here. It's saying that has to be this big transformation, so that something can have gone and died out, so that there can be a new rebirth, a new beginning. So everything did come tumbling down, and there has to be a new foundation for this relationship to actually work this time. There has to be a transformation. Things cannot go back to the way that they were, because it didn't work. So on both parts, there has to be this transformation from yourself and from your person as well. So yeah, it's definitely a new beginning coming in, an ending, new beginning. So, okay, we've got these two cards have come out. We've got the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, they're going to come in with an offer. So we've got two pages here out now. So they're definitely going to be coming in with an offer. They're going to be coming in like with some kind of stability, with some kind of financial message to show to you that they are reliable, that they are responsible, that they are loyal. They're going to want to show you really quickly that they are the person that you want them to be, or what they think you want them to be. And then you've got the Ace of Swords. They're going to come in, and there's something they're going to have to tell you, something they have to tell you the truth about that they had withheld. So they're going to give you some kind of confession, some kind of a truth that they hadn't been telling you before. So this new beginning that's going to start for you when this no contact comes back in is going to come back in on a whole new level, which is good with this Tower and the Death. It's going to come back on a whole new level, because they're going to actually start talking to you and tell you, they're going to confess something to you, they're going to give you some truth, they're going to give you a lot of honesty. Maybe they used to talk a load of shit in the past, but they realise that's not how you can base a relationship by, you know, you have to have honesty, you have to have communication. So there's going to be a new level of communication in the relationship. That's what they want. And there's going to be a whole new way of being. Now look, we've got the Death card out again. That's double cards here. That's my pussycat outside the window meowing to come in. You've got two cards here that are the same, but from two different decks. Death. This is like when there's two cards coming out, it's the universe really reiterating the situation here. And what they're saying is that in order for things to come in new, old ways have to die off. Old ways have to be gone. That they have to end. And there has to be transformation and for a new beginning. And so it's like the universe is really reiterating this to you. You know, if you want this relationship to work this time, then you can't base it on any of the ways that how it was before. It all has to be completely new, a whole new beginning, based on truth, based on honesty, completely different to how it was before, basically, Leo. Okay, any other advice here, please, for Leo spirit on how they should act, what's going to happen when this no contact comes back in? Any more messages, please, spirit? Okay, so we have, yeah, the Four of Wands. There's going to be a big celebration. You know, possibly they're going to even ask you to marry them. It's going to be like something's going to be a celebration here. You know, you're going to be very, very happy, basically, that they have come back in. You're both going to be very happy that this relationship's coming out of the no contact and it's going to the next level. So there will be a celebration. As I said, it could even be a proposal. Seven of Pentacles. Look, they've been trying really hard. They've been working hard on themselves. They've been working hard on their stability, on the ways that they were in the past, and they've been really realizing, you know, that the way things were before just wasn't working. See, they really know now that they have to build things in a different way. You know, things have to be built differently for things to work. So, Leo, see if there's any messages left here from Spirit for you. Any more messages, Spirit, for Leo, please? Yeah. At the moment, you've probably been left feeling really out in the cold yourself and holding on. You've been holding on to something, like hanging on to the past, hanging on to the way things used to be, right? And then you've got this 9, which has progressed on from the 7 that we just had. So basically, it's saying that holding on to the past is not going to work. You know, the past has to go. It has to have a death. It has to have a transformation. Holding on to things and how they were in the past is not how it's going to work out. You know, this is how it's going to work out. You know, building up anew, you know, the fruits of your labour, really working together, working hard and getting the, you know, the fruits of your labours coming in. I find it hard to word this, but it's like, if you hold on to the past, basically, if you hold on to how things were and how they used to be, that is not, it's just not going to work. They're really, this is the message that Spirit's really trying to give you here with the 2 death cards as well. There really does have to be a complete transformation. You have to really end out the way that things used to be. You know, this Tower is a whole coming down of old ways. The old ways have to be gone and new beginnings, a whole new way of looking at things. And this is how it will end for you. You'll have this beautiful celebration and everything will work out really well. But you just have to, like, so don't hold on to, like, maybe don't throw things in the person's face from the past. You know, don't hold on to things that happened in the past, because this new way, this, if you're coming back together, is going to be set on new grounds. So by holding on to things that happened in the past is only going to hinder a fresh relationship. You know, if there's going to, this relationship feels to me that if it's going to be work this time, it has to be based on a whole fresh slate. You know, things from the past are the past. You know, you can obviously discuss them, talk about them. As I said, they're going to come in with some kind of a truth here anyway. So, you know, once that's done and you've had this conversation and you get your communications levels up to good here, there's not going to be any more dishonesty. There's just going to be honest, truthful communication coming in. So holding on to things that happened in the past too much is just going to really hinder forward movement. That's about it for now, Leo, with this. We'll have another reading on this situation in another week, see what the energies are saying and if this person's any closer to coming back in. If you want to hear what's happening a bit more further next week, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel and like, and feel free to leave any comments that you'd like to make. I always reply, and I shall see you again next week, Leo. Thank you.